If I had to choose just one seafood dish to make that would probably have the most appeal to my seafood loving friends, it might be shrimp stuffed with crab meat. And I want to show you a couple tricks today about how to do this successfully at home. What I'm starting with here are some good sized shrimp. These are 1620 shrimp. That means that that's how many comprise a pound. And you really want to have something that large or even larger to stuff. What I like to do is have the last tail segment left on these. The rest of the peel, as you can see, has been taken off, but that last little bit is there. I don't always like to leave that on when I'm working with shrimp, but in the case of stuffed shrimp, as you'll see when we fill these with crab meat in a minute, it really works well to have that on there. Now what we want to do is take a paring knife, flip the shrimp over, and make a slice on the outside. This is going to allow you to open it up. It's called butterflying, and if there's a vein that's in there that you need to remove, you can take that out. For this dish, as importantly, it's going to also allow us the opportunity to open these up so that they'll stand up for stuffing. So I'm going to make this slice through there even a little bit deeper than I normally would for simply deveining a shrimp so that they'll really open wide. And once you've done that, they'll stand up nicely for you on your baking sheet. You'll notice I have that lined with a Silpat, a silicone mat that'll make these nice and non-stick. I've preheated the oven to 450 degrees. I like a pretty hot oven. Now what I've done here is simply taken my favorite crab cake recipe and I'm going to stuff that inside of the shrimp. There are 1,000,001 recipes for crab out there, but I would choose one that really lets the crab meat shine, not one that's loaded with a lot of bread or a lot of other things. Get a good quality crab meat, dress it lightly, and leave it at that. One thing you do want to pay attention to with this is having a little bit of egg in the recipe. I just cracked a yolk into this one so that as it cooks, it will help hold the crab together inside of the shrimp. So I'll just take a tablespoon or so. There's no magic amount. If you like a lot of crab, you can go with even more. And I'm going to stick it inside of there and just roll that tail that we talked about being so important before over the top. And we're just going to roast a few here today, but of course you could have a whole sheet pan full of these and feed a big crowd with ease. A great thing about this too is that you can make these hours ahead and just stick them back in the fridge on the sheet pan that you're going to bake them in and simply pop them in the oven when you're ready to serve. So once these are stuffed, I like to cook them in that hot oven, and it usually doesn't take more than about 10 minutes or so. Seafood in general cooks really quickly. People tend to overcook it quite often, and it goes from nice and tender and succulent and juicy to dried out and rubbery really fast. So really once they lose that opaqueness and get pearly white throughout the shrimp, you're ready to go. And with that Silpat helping these release, they will slide off beautifully for you. We're serving these unadorned today, garnished with a little bit of chive, but you can make any one of a number of sauces to go with this that would work pretty well, from a simple cocktail to a beurre blanc, a hollandaise, tomato sauce. Really anything you like would work well with these versatile seafood appetizers or entrees.